Welcome to Kaumudy Global. Members of the CPI State Council are chosen by the party's district chapters. Each district is required to suggest a council member before the new state council is announced. Each district's delegation meets to elect a representative to the council. The competition has gotten more intense as a result of the central leadership reducing the state's allotment. Previously, as many as 30 could be nominated by the state centre to the state council. This has now been decreased by half. The CPI State Conference witnessed the official faction led by Kanam Rajendran ensuring complete dominance. The maneuvers of the official side yielded results, including determining the course of the delegates' meeting. At the new State Council meeting on Monday, the Communist Party of India CPI unanimously elected Kanam Rajendran to function as the Kerala State Secretary. This is Kanam Rajendran's third consecutive time to this position. The district chapters were under severe orders from the state leadership to adhere to the 75-year-old age restriction for council elections. The national leadership also made the same clarification. After the party implemented the age restriction, CPI pulled senior leader C. Divakaran from the State Council on Monday. His name wasn't on the list that the Thiruvananthapuram District Council had suggested. Many party members, including those who support the two leaders, claimed that the party was put in crisis as a result of Divakaran's opposition to the implementation of age criteria in his public remarks soon before the conference and K.E. Ismail's strategy. With this, the anti-Kanam factions resolved to launch a front against the state secretary was shaken. The representative from the Ernakulam district, who was against both leaders, was questioned by a colleague from the same region, which is what sparked the conflict on Monday. It was alleged that the responses of the senior leaders, who received all the support of the party, put the conference in a bad light. All the moves of the Ismail faction, which had raised the threat of competition before the conference and created an atmosphere of tension, failed. The public response made by C. Divakaran also put the Ismail faction on the defensive. The opposition faction, which calculated that it could make gains through controversies including the age limit guidelines, became ineffective. The further moves of the Kanam faction, which had gained a complete upper hand, are also being watched. The opposition faction was held back from the competition by the firm belief that it would not have the upper hand. The official leadership succeeded in persuading the delegates of the conference that there was no justification for raising the age limit criteria, which had been effectively implemented from the grassroots level to the district conference only in the state conference. Organized criticism was raised against both C. Divakaran and Ismail. The picture became clear by the end of last day's discussion on the activity report. K.E. Ismail and C. Divakaran, senior leaders who instigated the riots, were dropped from the state leadership councils. Ismail is technically still in the national leadership. The upcoming party congress will see him exiting there as well. Ismail became emotional during the speech at the conference venue on Monday. He was stumbling over his words when he said that he will not have another opportunity to greet the workers like this in another gathering. Divakaran, on the other hand, returned before the meeting was over. Speaking to the media, he said that he had recused himself from the council. Divakaran currently holds no position in the party other than the post of chairman of Prabhat Books. Questions are also being raised regarding what action will the new council take against Divakaran for his public responses. It's also true that senior party figures K.E. Ismail and C. Divakaran, both former ministers, did not win over the delegates, particularly the younger group, with their open disobedience of the party. Both of these leaders were over 80, and their outward display of disobedience was interpreted as a last-ditch effort to maintain their positions of authority. According to sources, the delegates sharply criticized both of the leaders. The party as a whole came to the conclusion that the State Council nomination age limit should be set at 75. C. Divakaran nearly ran against Kanam during the last state conference in 2018, but the latter decided to withdraw at the last minute, saying the party's unity was of far greater importance. In addition to C. Dibakaran and K. E. Ismail, who were both rendered ineligible by the 75-year age limit, former 3-time MLA and the CPI's most well-known representative in Idukki, E.S. Bijimol, also failed to get a position in the new state council. In her case, it was the public shaming of the party that seems to have caused her removal from the council. Bijimol claimed that she was a victim of male chauvinism in the CPI after losing the contest for the position of Idukki District Secretary. She made a suggestion that a female district secretary would be intolerable to the CPI males. The party has reacted by widely denouncing this. Whatever twists and turns the whole process of electing CPI State Secretary took, Kanam Rajendran is now CPI's unanimously elected Kerala State Secretary. Kanam is the third CPI State Secretary to hold the post for 3 consecutive terms after N.E. Balram and P.K. Vasudevan Nair. This is Anjana signing off. Do like and share this video. For further updates, subscribe to Kaumudy Global.